part that everyone's like Sunni and Shia don't work together, and it's just this constant, I get it every day on Twitter. Sunni and Shia have worked together numerous times when it matters to them. As you can imagine, now that they really feel they can reestablish the caliphate, it's a whole different situation. The fall of Kabul changed the entire terrorism landscape. But these are just a few instances in the past where it happened anyway, right? It happened during the Mujahideen era in Afghanistan. Sunni and Shia fought in it. It happened during the Iraqi insurgency. At times they fought together, then they fought against each other. We saw some of that in Libya too, but they kept coming back together. The Syrian civil war, right? Our government should be experts on the terrorist networks in the Syrian civil war. That is the best way to keep America safe, because everything coming from the future all started there, right? I know we spent so much time on Afghanistan in the 80s and 90s. The Syrian civil war is now that new second generation, and we need to understand who those players are, because they're the future of jihad. And then obviously the October 7th attack, right? We had Sunni and Shia terrorists on the ground involved in that attack. Now, it's really interesting, right? Because you need more than to just say, oh, let's all come together and create an Islamic caliphate, right? I mean, you still gotta sell these terrorists to join this, because honestly, you have some bad blood, right, between each other. So these are some of the key points Al-Qaeda is playing with and using to bring some of the other groups in. The easiest, simplest one is, hey, there is an uncertainty support. Al-Shabaab, you don't know if you'll keep money coming in, you don't know if you'll keep donations coming in. GNIM in Africa, they run a bunch of mines. Al-Qaeda's like, well, the Chinese might come in and take your mine, right? You're gonna lose that funding source. We're worth $1 billion. We're funded by the US government. We're funded by Qatar, right? We're funded by the United Nations. We will back you. We will give you the money you need. We'll train you. We will get you arms, right? Like, you don't have to worry about money if you join us. That's one of the hugest pieces of this. Another one is hey, Al-Shabaab, it's really stupid for you, and they just did it this week again, right, to attack a hotel of tribal leaders and say, oh, we claim responsibility. Al-Qaeda's like, why would you want to do that anymore? Work with us and we'll make it go through proxies, right, and you won't get blamed. If you don't get blamed, you don't get targeted, right? It's just the whole kind of cuts force model. Another one is, hey, terrorist groups, you all work in these countries full of corruption, full of instability, right? Your leaders are changing over all the time. Why would you not want to have an ally who is consistent, right? Al-Qaeda, we haven't gone anywhere. The Bin Ladens haven't gone anywhere. And then the last piece is just strategic compromise. At the end of the day, there's something we all want. And Hamza bin Laden's been really smart about figuring out what every group wants and then making a deal with them. So a really great one he made is in Syria. You know, we've all heard, because some of the ISIS brides are in them, right? There's camps in Syria with, some have ISIS fighters, but the ones that are most known are the camps that have the women and children of the ISIS fighters, right? And there's tens of thousands of them in these camps in Syria. So ISIS wants those women and children released, right? They want them to go on, be back with their husbands, or get married again and build the next generation. So Hamza bin Laden, early November, went to ISIS and said, hey, we are going to do the Syrian blitzkrieg with Julani. We know you want these women and children. Julani has agreed, once the US moves out and they hand over the camps to him, he's going to release these women and children, okay? We can give you that promise. But we can give you one step more, because still, the women who don't have husbands, they don't have a way to support themselves, right? So basically what Hamza and the Taliban said, we will take 10,000 of these women with their children to Afghanistan. We will give them housing, we will give them sustenance, we will help them get married back into, into the jihadi families, and you don't have to worry about them. And they've actually started building those homes. Of course, ISIS made this deal like, sure, maybe Syria fall, maybe not. Well, the other piece of the deal is what Hamza asked ISIS. He said, hey, I'm doing this homeland attack in the US. I want to blame it on ISIS, and I need ISIS bodies at the attack. So when the US government identifies some of them, they will be ISIS. So it's not just cover that we said it was ISIS. We will have dead ISIS bodies on the ground. And so ISIS said, cool, we'll give you fighters for that. So again, he figured out something they wanted, very, very valuable to ISIS, and they made a deal about it.